Since Memorial Day is rapidly approaching, let's make something festive in our country's colors to represent the sacrifice that many have made by giving their lives for our freedom. So we are going to make a kind of pretty star. So it's going to have a lot of different points. I believe it's going to have 8 points. So that means we need 8 pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I chose to go with 4 reds, 2 blues, and 2 whites. If you don't have construction paper, you can use all white paper and then maybe decorate it with some stripes and stars, maybe some blues and reds. That might be kind of interesting looking so that it's not just a plain white star. We'll need some scissors and some glue as well. So what we're going to do first is we need pieces of paper that are square. So this is technically a rectangle. And so since we need square pieces, if you don't already have them, this is what you can do. So you can face it in landscape so that it's wide versus tall. And you pick up this left corner and you bring it all the way to the edge. You can see that. So that the edges are lined up. And then you will squish it down and create a fold. And then you'll take your scissors, if I can see that, and cut off this extra piece. I'm cutting right under the fold. I'll do this again with a darker color and see if it's more obvious. Okay. So now we have a square piece of paper. So let's try that one more time. Do it with a blue one this time. Okay, so our paper is in landscape. We're going to take the left corner down here. We're going to bring it, oh yeah, you can see better. So see, my edges aren't touching, so I have to keep going. Oh, not quite. There's still some space. Push, push, push. Oh, they look like they're lined up. So I'm going to fold there. And then, see how there's that break there? We're going to cut right along that fold and get rid of that rectangle that's on the bottom. Okay. And again, we're left with a square piece of paper. So I'm going to do that to my other 6 pieces. So we have 8 squares now. Okay, more folding. So first, we're going to fold it in half towards us, so kind of hamburger style, I guess. Again, make sure the whole thing is lined up before we push. So now we have a big crease in the middle. So now we want to go towards one side or the other. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take my dominant hand, hold down with my left hand. And again, I'm going to line up the paper all the way down. Since I didn't do perfect cutting, it might not line up completely. That's okay. I'm going to hold it down with the left, push down with the right. Okay. So now I have 1, 2, and we're going to fold it in half. when it's in this position. So when we open it up, we have 4 distinct creases. This one was from when we were cutting out our squares. So it looks kind of like we have a window. So now what we want to do is take the corners of our window and bring them to the middle. And we're going to do that for all of them. And remember, since we didn't start off with a perfect square, we had to make it. Our cuts are probably not going to be completely perfect because we're human. So your points might not line up exactly in the middle, but they'll be close enough. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we have a square, and we're going to twist it to make it into a diamond. Now we're going to take the side of our diamond and bring the point, this point over here, to the middle. So we're lining it up along the middle line and then pushing down. Now we're going to do the same on this side. Take the point, bring it into the middle, try and get all of it lined up before I squish, and then squish. And this is the point of one of our stars. So now I'm going to go through and do the other 7. Lots of folding today. Okay, last few folds. So I wanted to mention, if you have origami paper, feel free to use it. That comes in a square to begin with, and it's thinner, so it's easier to manipulate and fold. So if you have construction paper, or I'm using also computer paper, construction paper is going to be your hardest probably. So if you get to points like this, where it's kind of puckering, realize that you can control the paper and move it around. So take your time. So you don't have to fold it like that and think, oh, that's good enough. Bring it back out, and then maybe pop out this part that's kind of preventing you from moving. And then line it up again. And then see, pop this part out a little bit. So don't let the paper control you, you control the paper. Same on this side. See, it's puckering here, so I need to pop that out so that it's round again and won't get stuck as I fold. Again, construction paper is not easy, so take your time, take breaks. This took me almost 10 minutes to fold all of these, so it's a lot of work. Okay, so what we want to do is first, I want to lay them out so I know what order I'm going to go in. So this part up here kind of looks like the rocket ship part. That is going to be the out part. This part down here is in the middle. So I'm going to have one blue at the top. I'm going to go red, white, and red. Okay, so now I know the order that I'm going to glue them in. So since I've got that, I'm going to kind of move the excess aside. And I'll show you how to glue them. So I'm going to use a glue stick, but you could also use some just regular school glue. If you have construction paper, well, we should probably use school glue, since it's going to be a little bit sturdier, I think. So I'm just going to kind of outline the area, Again, I do think glue stick would work. So I'm going to take this one, point is up, folded kind of part is down, and I'm going to line those up. Just put one along that line. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it. Now this is the one I'm focused on. So I'm going to kind of keep my glue along the lines. And then I put a little bit in the middle. And I take my white one, point out, fold the flat part in, line up the edge. Oops, a little bit of glue out there. And hold. Okay, so I now have half a star. I'm going to finish it up. Okay, so on my last one, I got to kind of overlap it a little bit with the blue, so I'll show you. So I glue it. I'm going to glue it to the white, but I also want my blue piece on top over here. So I would pull that blue one up so that I could glue it to the red. And remember, you don't want to use a ton of glue because otherwise it'll seep out and get everywhere. So use restraint. And there we have our red, white, and blue star for Memorial Day. Now, another thing you can do is, since Memorial Day is recognizing those who gave their life for our country, we call their families Gold Star families. So anybody who's lost someone in the war, in a war, is a Gold Star family. So what you could do is make a star, and I'll show you how I make my stars. So the slower way is basically 5 V's, with the letter V, in various positions. So we have upside down V, then we have sideways V, kind of tilted V, tilted V. So that takes a little bit longer. You can also just start off by giving yourself some dots to work with to try and get the movement down. Just 3 little dots to make a triangle, but only do the upper part of the triangle, don't do the base. Go here to here to here to here. So again, with the dots, just be careful that you don't do this line in here, because if you're connecting dots and you go all the way around, you'll still get a star, but it will just have a lot more lines to it. So the fast way is what a lot of my students ask me how to do. So to learn this one, I start off with 4 circles in a square shape. And then I go halfway in between and up, and I make a 5th circle. And then I'm going to number these. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we're going to end over here. So I'm going to start at 1, and I go down to 2 with a diagonal line. This is the only time my marker is going to leave the paper. So I jump up, I go over to 3, diagonal to 4, diagonal to 5, diagonal to 6. And again, you can just practice this routine over and over. Jump. Again, see how my pen does not leave? 4, still on the paper, 5, still on the... So again, you can just practice this over and over again until you get that motor memory, and soon you'll be making stars like teachers do on all of your homework that you work so hard on. So what I'm going to do is make a gold star to go in the middle. It's not going to be fancy and have 6 points, it's just going to be a 5-point star. So I'm going to use my method. So I'm going to go down. Oh, that's too far. You want your lines to be pretty much even so that all the points come out even. Over, diagonal down, diagonal up, diagonal down. Okay, so that's the fast way to make a star. And then I'm going to cut this out and put it right smack on the middle. Again, these are tight corners, so I want to get my scissors right up to the edge of it, open my scissors wide, turn the paper, don't turn my scissors, and cut. So I'm going to do that all the way around. As a nod to the families who are Gold Star families who has or have a member of their family that gave their life for our freedom and country. Thanks, Gold Star families.